Zara Larsson dropping her newest album, Poster Girl. Um, yeah, Zara Larsson. That's someone that was on my radar, but I know she was on yours. Tell me about it.
Yes, I've been a Zara Larsson fan for a little bit. Uh, was not up on her when that last album dropped quite a while ago at this point, early 2017. So good. But that was an album loaded with a lot of hits. I didn't become aware of her until catching her in the BBC Live Lounge YouTube video of Dua Lipa performing I Don't Give a Fuck with background vocals from Charlie XCX, Mo, Alma, and Zara Larsson. Knew who Charlie was, knew who Mo was, but that's how I learned about who Alma was, as I said last year when we talked about that album, as well as Zara. Obviously, the five of them, all European pop artists, makes sense, cool thing. You don't see stuff like that all the time. But I was like, who are these people?
Mhm.
Zara and Alma. I'm not familiar with them. And Zara Larsson, a Swedish pop star who actually has been famous for a very long time, winning the Swedish equivalent of Got America's Got Talent, Sweden's Got Talent when she was like 10, signing a record deal when she was 14. So she's like been in the record industry for almost 10 years at this point.
Crazy.
And that second album, as I said, that had hits. Like you can go check those stream numbers. Lush Life is approaching 1 billion on Spotify. And that's like a really catchy banger. There's a lot of bangers on that album that I do like. They're just really tight, well made pop tracks. I think you look at those credits. She's got a lot of writers. She's got a lot of producers. It's definitely like a full team effort, music industry type thing. But the songs are still hits. I think on Poster Girl, what stood out to me is that I don't think anything jumped out to me immediately like that. I did notice though that she is writing a lot more on this third album than before, which is a nice sign. And she's been a really like vocal person on social media. She's definitely not like a sanitized celebrity. And I think if she can get her music to approach that more, I think that's a good sign. I think we're getting there with this, but I think Poster Girl, there's still moments where she's a little like overproduced. I
Mhm.
think like there was a little overuse of auto tune here and there on the album, but still some good moments for me.
Yeah, I think the comp that came to my mind, and I don't mean this in any way as a diss, but it might sound that way, is like Sia light, so to speak. Almost like her vocal range may not be all the way up to Sia, but the sound and kind of like the construction of her songs reminded me a lot of Sia's music. I thought there was a lot to like on here. I agree. I don't know if anything jumped out the way that some of those big hits from the other album did, but like it kind of ranges from like disco pop to like more like toned back R&B pop, which
Yeah.
I appreciated. And like for the R&B side, like Love Me Land, which is higher on the track order. um or then we switch it up a little bit further down the line. Look What You've Done, I thought was a standout from this album. You really get that disco feel. Very just like infectious type dance sound. So I really appreciated the variety on here, and I didn't know that she had this media presence, but I think certainly if she can start to merge and say a little bit more on her songs, I think it would go a long way to maybe making a more meaningful album, but still a joy to listen to. What stood out to you with Poster Girl?
Yeah, yeah. Just thinking to the production. Um, the title track Poster Girl, I really like that dance beat there. Um, Conversely, Wow, which had already been released
Yeah.
and is being seems to be doing numbers for her. That's produced by Marshmello, funny enough.
Hmm.
Um, Now on like the negative end of production, I Need Love. That's where like the auto tune goes too far. Like I'm not against vocoder effects. I think they can sound really cool. Think of sometime like Delicate from Taylor
Mm.
Swift on Reputation, one of the I think actual highlights off that album, right? And that's all vocoder. But in this instance, like it starts off strong and then it just never stops. And like you just kind of like overdub it because she's a strong vocalist. She doesn't really need to rely
Yeah.
on this kind of stuff. And sometimes the beats can just drown her out too. Um, on the other hand, though, like a song like "Holy Smokes," I think that one's my favorite at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no. Wait, what song was that? "Holy Smokes" was the hook on, I believe, "Poster Girl." Uh,
Hmm.
And I was like, I thought it was a really catchy hook the way she was saying that. Yeah, so I was a fan of that one. Ruin My Life, that one's been out a
Yeah,
while, a few years at this point. It's done a
that
lot
one's
of
doing
numbers because it's been out
numbers.
for a while. And that was kind of interesting. And I actually like the way she talked about that one because that one's like not the most like empowering, uplifting message.
Hmm.
But I think the way she like owns it and like that like masochism of her
Yeah,
the relationship she's singing about, like I think it still kind of fits the way the persona she has.
yeah, Ruin My Life and FFF with the exclamation point. I guess it'd just be F. I thought really stood out, and I agree with Ruin My Life. I definitely was like taken aback a little bit, like on first listen, but I was like, how many people kind of just talk like this in terms of relationships, like just ruin me or destroy me, like those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I thought it was in line with the way people kind of talk about relationships today, for sure. And I agree. Wow, the production on that is pretty interesting with like the way the horns and the rhythm of her singing around the chorus and the instruments there is pretty uh, well done, I thought. But yeah, I mean, I think this is probably not her best album. I think there's probably some better stuff to come, especially if you look to the songs off the last one. But she's gonna be around. She's popular. She's
Yeah, only 23 too. Again, 9 years in the
insane.
game. It's her third album, but just turned 23 in December. So, Zara Larsson, we'll see how big this does in the US because I think she's still not like a mega star. And she actually did speak about this a lot with the press about how she, let the momentum fade away off that second album so good. And like you have this huge international smash like Lush Life, a song that goes 10 times platinum in your home country, but also goes platinum in like 10 other countries, right?
Mhm.
And then you don't have the follow up come out on time, and then momentum fades away. And she's like, I actually thought she had a really astute way to put it. She's like, I'm not Rihanna. Like the
Mm.
people aren't going to be waiting for me forever the way they would wait for someone like her. And so I felt like I just had to put this out, but also she hadn't rushed it out, and I think that that's interesting. So we'll see if this restarts, momentum of Zara Larsson, the international pop star. But either way, successful artist to this point.
Yeah, I mean, she has 3 songs over 400,000, 400 million views on Spotify, so
Yeah.
she's doing all right.